Well, ladies and gentlemen, I saw Iron Lung last night with Bacon, and this is my review of the movie. Prior to this, I was like, okay, Markiplier is making an Iron Lung movie. Is it like a YouTube thing? What is this? This is going to be very, very, very spoilery. So if you are intending on seeing this movie in theaters, I can get the non-spoiler review out already if you are inclined to hear my thoughts about it. But I will say this. This movie exceeded my expectations because this is an actual movie. And I would say it's a movie that is very good claustrophobic horror that is... It reminds me of... It's not necessarily so jump scary. It's more atmospheric, and that I very much like. I think that Markiplier was actually a really good actor. I'm not too familiar with Markiplier. I know of him, of course, but I have never sat down and watched his stuff. But as an actor, outside YouTube, I thought he did a really good job. He carried emotional moments, and I felt there was a sense of urgency that he conveyed throughout the movie that I really liked. I thought the practical effects was very, very good. And I am a quote-unquote gorehound, so I appreciated all the blood that was in the movie, all this, I think this movie was really decent. I didn't go into it with too much expectations. I went into this movie with Bacon, and I'm like, again, prior to this, I'm like, this is an actual movie. They're showing in theaters? I'm really happy that, Markiplier was so passionate about this that full-on movie treatment. I know it's only being shown in select theaters, and luckily I was able to get a screening of this. But yeah, if you want to score already, if you're just drumming your fingers going okay, can you fucking move on please already? I would say it's a 7 out of 10. The only problem I have with this movie, it's a little too long. I think it was 2 hours. And, there was points where my ADHD-ridden brain was kind of wanting to mentally move my mind cursor on the screen and look at the seek bar. Not that I want to skip anything, but I'm like, how much is left here? But naturally, because Iron Lung is an atmospheric, game anyway, I can understand why the length would be, required for that, But overall, I think if you're going to see this movie with a friend or something, and especially if you're a fan of Markiplier, you're really going to get a lot of this. But if you're a fan of the game, especially, good adaptation. It's been a while since I played Iron Lung, and I'm sure I can go on a wiki and find out all about the things I missed. But overall, I'd say pretty damn decent. Way better than I thought. High production values and everything, and it was not filmed on iPhone in Markiplier's apartment with a green screen where the first thing that happens is, "What's up, everybody? My name is Markiplier here." And I'm like, that's what I expected. I expected this movie to be a restream of his VOD on YouTube with, some color balancing. Scammed. No, but seriously though, very, very, very good movie. I thought it was really nice, really, really nice. I would dare say that this movie was better than some movies I've seen lately. But 7 out of 10, very good. That is the non-spoiler review. Good adaptation. Markiplier's acting was very good. Very good, very good. Now, here's where we get into spoilers. So please, if you're just tuning in, I probably should do this on screen so you get. In case you're just tuning in and you're like, whoa, what the fuck are you saying, man? We're gonna do this as a little disclaimer. If you're just tuning in. There we go. So now we have spoilers. Okay, so here's where we talk about this, and I'm sure some people that don't care for spoilers are gonna still listen to this. They haven't seen the movie yet, and they just want to hear the movie retold in my, point of view. So, yesterday it's 8:30. It's kind of a late movie screening, which I always appreciate. I always feel like movie theater experiences should never be at 2 p.m. It feels weird when you walk out and it's like people are having coffee and lunch, shit like that. It should be, when everybody else has gone to bed and you're sitting there with the silver screen and enjoying something. And especially if you're watching a horror movie, it's much better when you're surrounded by darkness outside, But but anyway, we get there and we sit down, and it's kind of funny. I wasn't gonna get snacks. I was like, dude, no. Because movie popcorn has been so bad every time I've watched in the theaters lately. And lo and behold, it was bad this time around too. But it's what was ever, because I was legitimately hungry. I wasn't treating my snacks like, oh, fun snacks. I was like, I'm just fucking hungry, man. I hadn't eaten dinner yet, so I was just like, yes, cholesterol. Anyway, so we the movie, all the trailers are playing and all that shit, and I'm like, holy shit, here we fucking go. Here's the movie, and it starts up, and the first thing you see in this movie is Markiplier in a submarine. And then the movie ends after 2 hours. The end? I mean, my goodness. Okay. Okay, but seriously though, it starts off with a little prologue. Now, when I played Iron Lung, I didn't get too much plot out of it. Then again, that's my own fault. But from what I remember from the game is that you are a prisoner and you're basically working off your crime by being sent into, blood ocean. An ocean full with blood. And you're sent into this welded submarine to look for things, for the whatever's going on out there in space. And there's this cataclysmic apocalyptic event where the stars are disappearing. It's very creepy, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go down there. I stole a candy bar once, so I'm gonna work out my crimes. I jaywalked once, so yeah. You're welded into the submarine, and you are going around, and it gets creepier and creepier, and blood keeps seeping into the submarine. Eventually, big spoilers in the game, a big fish gets you. So that is essentially what happens in the game too. The guy who made, by the way, the guy who made Iron Lung is in this movie as a brief cameo. I had to check the credits, like, what was that guy? And lo and behold, it was a little, Peter Jackson, Lord of the Rings thing where he eats a carrot and burps loudly into the screen. So that was a little cool thing. But I think Jacksepticeye is also in this movie. I was informed about that afterwards, but I didn't really catch it, and I kind of appreciate that because I wanted Iron Lung to not be resting on the shoulders of it's made by a YouTuber. I wanted this to be judged on its own merits as an actual piece of cinematic art, and it was. It took a little bit for me to let that wall down, where I was like, okay, that's Markiplier. The memes, I can milk you, like that kind of shit. But eventually, the more I watched, I'm like, okay, fuck that. He's just acting in this movie now. He's playing the character Simon, which is the convict that has been charged with crimes, sent down by the space government to find out what the hell went wrong there. And it's very clandestine where, he's not really informed, and eventually he reaches the lower depths. He finds another submarine, and that submarine has been eaten, and that's maybe where I should shut up if you're watching this movie. Because again, this is an indie movie. This is a movie that is very high production value. But I would say this, for someone that was so passionate about making this, I think you should support it. I would much rather support this than Transformers 9, The Revenge of Megatron, because those movies aren't really movies. They're like Colgate commercials. But I'm sure this will be out on streaming soon. And get a buddy together on Discord. Watch this movie. You'll have a good time. But I would say this movie probably works the best if you're watching it in a movie theater when it's pitch black, big surround sound, and you can enjoy a horror movie. Because I think the claustrophobia that is displayed in this movie, because again, it's Markiplier Simon that is sitting down in a submarine looking for these artifacts. So again, like the game, he's going around in the bottom of the ocean taking photographs of these creepy skeletons and stuff like that. And that sort of claustrophobia is echoed when you're sitting in a big movie theater and just you and the screen, even though you're surrounded with other people munching popcorn. But overall, I'd say it's a very good experience. My main gripes with this movie, it is a little too long. And again, as I said at the very start of this with the non-spoiler review or whatever, I would cut around 40 minutes out of this. And I get it. It's a slow burn. You need to get into this and stuff like that. But there's some parts in this movie that works better and worse. This movie starts off with, and I don't mean no offense to the acting portrayal made by one of the characters. I'm gonna say Markiplier, even though the character name is Simon, because you know who I'm talking about more if I say that. When he's in the submarine in the first part of the movie, he has a radio that is constantly talking to him as he's exploring, and the same cadence and the same voice as "Focus M" is throughout the movie, and that made me laugh. The same sort of like sarcastic, I don't have time for this kind of shit was being played to Markiplier. It's like, you gotta get these artifacts done at this coordinates. Really? Come on. And that I was like, okay. The best parts of this movie, when there was no dialogue at all, when it was, the submarine falls, he's just at the bottom of the ocean, nothing. It was just pure isolation in darkness, where Markiplier is like, what the fuck do I do here? All right. Can I eat? Can I drink water? And the lights is going out, and he's just scared, and there's nothing. That was my favorite. Total isolation. And I get it. You have to have other characters in this movie to, have a horror movie and working as a cinematic thing. You can't just have 2 hours of silence. This isn't fucking Begotten, okay? This isn't some experimental horror movie, okay? People need to be entertained by talking. But, that was my favorite part. When Markiplier didn't have anyone to talk to, because I thought that was the best part of Iron Lung, where it was just total fucking isolation in this creepy claustrophobic submarine in the middle of nowhere. That was my favorite. But having other characters talk to him kind of diminished the horror a little bit, So did you find the pacing to be slow? No, I loved the pacing, actually. I thought the pacing, even though I kind of talked about the length of it, I appreciated that it wasn't constantly action. I appreciated it wasn't just and you see a third-person perspective of the submarine being chased by the fish. You see none of that. It's all within the submarine. It's one location. So it conveys that sort of claustrophobia pretty well. But there's always a bigger fish. Cut 40 minutes. I love the pacing, are two completely opposite statements. Well, what I try to say with that is that 40 minutes, I would cut out the other characters in it. That was my main gripe. And again, I didn't really have too much of a problem with those characters, but I felt like you could emphasize more of the claustrophobia by replacing it with more just Markiplier. Because again, he was a good actor in this. I thought he emoted very well as the character Simon in the submarine, and he felt like your average Joe. He felt your average Joey. That it did not feel like he was looking at the camera going, line. And at no point in this Iron Lung movie was he drinking Starbucks and forgot to put it down. Like, he was totally committed. This was a passion project that he realized. So why does the MC even have a name, though? This movie does take some liberties, and I'm not sure if the movie also has this lore in it. Because, again, I don't remember all the little extra blurbs in it, but, there's a main character name. You see more of the Galactic Federation that's going on, and I didn't really understand fully 100% all of the movie extra stuff. Again, that might be in the game. But basically, he is sentenced to the Iron Lung because he blew up like a space colony. He wasn't the one doing it. He was like mercenary for hire blowing up a bomb or something like that. And it wasn't intended to kill people. So it was accidental or something like that. Something like that. I think he was framed. I'm not entirely sure. And a lot of the explanations behind the great cataclysm, the silencing of the stars disappearing, not really elaborated on either, but I kind of like that. I've heard people bitch about that, saying it doesn't explain everything to you. I'm like, that's good. That lets your imagination, and it's the fear of the unknown. You know, I like not having everything being told to me. That's why the first Alien movie is my favorite, man. Like the xenomorph, when it's like, what the fuck is this thing? But when they turn into space bugs, it's like, we'll give a fuck, you know. It's kind of like the Borg in Star Trek, you know, like a fucking Borg queen, fuck out of here, you know. But anyway, so there's a lot of like unexplained stuff in this movie, and I like that. I think it leaves room for interpretation and stuff like that, and you know, for such a isolating experience, it adds more to it. I think by having it be a big mystery. Are you divulging spoilers? Well, as you can see, spoilers, you know. But what else was I gonna say? I had never heard Markiplier swear. Okay, this might be a strange thing to say, but Markiplier swears a lot. It's a very sweary movie, you know. And I legitimately, I'm not making up this shit. He takes off his shirt and he keeps swearing. I'm like, this is a movie. This is a real movie. You know what I mean? You know, this is some Die Hard shit, man. This ain't for the kids, you know. Did he have sex? No. But my stomach had sex because I ate a lot of popcorn and snacks, and I felt I was making love to my toilet afterwards, you know, because I needed a cigarette after that. He fucked the submarine. No, but seriously though, I was very impressed with Markiplier, and I hope that he makes more movies. I hope that he escapes this fear of YouTube shit. He should leave this realm of crap that is YouTube.com and make more movies, man. This is where he shines, man. Again, I'm not qualified to critique him because I haven't really sat down and watched one of his things. So here's what I did. Ladies and gentlemen, I decided to do something that Chinese pirates do all the time. Now, back in the day, you know, Alien vs. Predator in 2004 came out, and you wanted to see this movie, but the technology was not available just yet to download pirate movies on a modem. So what I decided to do, a CAMRIP. Now, I know Markiplier is going to be pretty pissed off that I did this, and so will the rest that didn't. However, I do this just between you and me, mano a mano. Like, no one tells anybody that I'm about to show footage from this movie from the movie theater. Will you keep a secret? Will you keep a secret? Will you keep a secret? 2,430 people right now. Everybody keep a secret. No, I'm not showing this movie until everybody keep a secret. There cannot be one person... there cannot be a single person saying no. Alright, I'm calling you out. I'm telling these people to leave. If it's not fun... Oh, you said I keep a secret. Okay, you keep a secret. But Glubtier 380 said no. Okay? Main weapon _ stick. You need to leave. I'm not showing you this. If you do this. No _ 112266 says no. Well, we can't show this. Everybody needs to be locked in on this. This is our clubhouse. This is our treehouse. We're gonna show this movie. Alright, listen. Okay, here's what we'll do. I'm gonna assume that you guys are joking. You're being ironic, okay? And I don't know what irony is. I know what iron lung is. But here's what I'm gonna show this. Okay, and I want you to take this seriously, okay? So, here we go.
Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier and I'm very tired. I'm gonna go into the ocean. And I'm going
now, this is the movie.
I don't know what I'm talking
I want to say, I did shake around a little bit because, you know, my insulin level was low.
You should check it out. Link in the description. It's on my channel page. You don't check the front page of my
but this is
channel page,
spoilers.
you don't know what I'm doing.
If you are interested in watching this movie, and you would like to support this, I would like you to go to the theater and not watch my CAMRIP of this. Anyway, this is Iron Lung. This is. Oh my god. Bad joke. It's actually really funny to me that Markiplier plays this, doesn't know what it is, and he's like, I haven't watched this entire thing. I just did a joke, and at the end of it, he's probably like, this was really good, and then years later, he's fucking starring in the thing. I'm glad. I mean, it'd be really funny to watch this entire thing and be like, yeah, this game kind of sucks. Like, super incriminating, like, ooh, I got this game's shit. No, but he probably, I mean, if you're gonna make a movie out of something, you gotta be completely like on board with it, But here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna actually be playing the trailer so you get to see. If you haven't seen the trailer yet for this, this would be a good starting off point to, get a little bit of a visual thing that's going on as I talk about it.
I see that question in your eyes.
I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. All right. Anyway, but yeah, as you can see from the trailer, if this is enticing to you, be like, oh, this looks kind of dark and cool. This is what the movie's like. Looks like a real goddamn movie. This isn't some Smosh movie, man. This isn't a Nostalgia Critic skit, man. There was some trivia about this movie before it came out to drum up hype, and I was like, okay, whatever. Apparently, this movie has the most amount of fake blood ever. Like, the amount of fake blood they poured on top of poor Marky Moo's head was like 80,000 gallons. And that wasn't no CGI, But, hey, that's... he had to go to the hospital for it, really. Shit, man. Joel is muted. It's just very low. But I'm glad they got everything so faithful in this, with the set and everything. It was pretty cool. I was very impressed with, I don't know who did the stunts. I doubt Markiplier himself did all this shit, but he was knocked around in this submarine a lot. And I was like, holy shit, is that really him? Like, did they cushion these steel walls? Again, that was movie magic. It was probably like plywood and foam peanuts. But I was like, holy shit, man, this is something, huh? He did, and he died. He did the stunts himself. Jesus Christ. Markiplier got an eye infection on and hospitalized from all the fake blood. He did. The entire set was on a giant moving platform. Okay. He did say he was knocked around in it. Okay. But I was very impressed with the stunts. And again, I like this acting a lot. And I will say this, Markiplier has a really good voice, especially for movies, There's a certain cadence and things when you have to speak in a movie, And I was like, this isn't destroying my ears, And I didn't, again, at the very start of this movie, I felt there was a little bit of a wall that needed to be like, okay, Markiplier. But eventually it disintegrated and became, this is a real movie, I will say this too. I've heard people bitch that this movie also suffers from like bad audio, this mixing or whatever. Here's the thing. I watch all my movies subtitled in English. This is the way to go. I don't know why the fuck you would watch a movie without closed captions. Not closed captions, but, like, why? Why not? And I'm not talking about like Swedish subtitles. I'm talking about clear dialogue that you miss and you can look up and be like, okay, because sometimes you eat popcorn and your own teeth go and you know how movies are mixed nowadays, dialogue scenes are like this, and the fucking action scenes and you're like, oh god. So it's nice to have a sort of visual limiter, close your mouth, man. That's a problem, Lord of the Rings audio mixing. I have tinnitus. I need audio mixing. I saw it with subtitles and it really helped. You know what was weird about this movie? You know what was really weird about this movie, everybody? The fact there's no one clapped. By the way, Andrew Hulsholt, shout out to Dusk. No one clapped at the end. Every single movie I have seen with Bacon lately, like Five Nights at Freddy's, Sonic, Mario, and all that stuff, no one at the end sat up and went, yeah! I thought everybody was gonna be there and like supporting and like, you know, but they've clapped for everything else, not this one. And I was like, fuck this. I stood the fuck up and I went, you know, across reverb the fuck to the, as the, you know, Curtis went up and went, what the fuck is wrong with you people? That's my Markiplier. And I slow clap and everybody's like, he's right. That is Dark Markiplier. Yeah. You know, no, but no, seriously, nobody clapped. That I don't know why this phenomenon has happened lately. With clapping in movie theaters, is like not the directors will know. They already know you clap because you paid for the movie. Whatever. Doing God's work, Joey. I made the cinema clap in Stockholm. Well, I'm glad other people did it, but you know what I think it was too? I think it's because it was an older crowd. Like, it was kind of my age. It was like, you know, 60-year-olds in the movie theater. And I think that helped because they realized, listen, we're not 12 years old. The movie can't, like, hear our clapping and give us a thumbs up through the silver screen. But Markiplier's fans are older now. There was some people, like, cosplaying in the movie theater. And that was like, okay, you guys have fun, but... That was kind of a warning sign for me as I went into the movie theater. I'm like, oh, I hope it isn't just like a Minecraft experience, you know what I mean? Like, you know, the movie starts off serious and it's really good, and suddenly someone yells a Markiplier meme. Everybody laughs except me, and because I'm not laughing, they turn their heads towards me, and they go, why are you not laughing? And I go, that's gotta brush my chicken. I'm into that joke too. Yeah, you're a fan too, huh? Uh-huh. Where's your Markiplier helmet? Oh, sorry. You know, and eventually everybody gets the big, you know, wicker man on the stage, and everybody goes, Markiplier, hoo-ha, Markiplier. And they carry me into this fucking thing, you know, and then they milk me. So, how could you watch a movie without the Markiplier helmet? Complete global. No, but seriously, I could be talking more about this, but I kind of want to keep it not overtly too spoilery. Again, I really enjoyed this. I thought the acting was way better than I anticipated. Looked like a real movie. A little too long with a little too much exposition. Some people might be more into that. I think the best part about this movie was the total claustrophobia, no dialogue. Just the wet dripping of the blood into the submarine, and, you know, Markiplier internally thinking like, what the fuck am I going to eat? Am I actually going to get my freedom from like taking photos of these skeletons? You know, that was hard to me, you know. Like, just letting the unknown and the what do you call it? The lack of light in the bottom of the ocean. You know, for me, I never really got scared by Subnautica because I don't have that deep sea horror. I have fears in other things. But, you know, it was still that sort of pitch black nothing. And one thing I really enjoyed, this is a spoiler in the movie, you know, Markiplier has to hit the camera to light up the fucking light in the submarine because the lights go out. And he gets frustrated because he's like, God fucking damn it. And he has to go, and it goes out. It's like, what the? I can't see shit in here. So what he does, he tapes like duct tape on top of the camera so it's always on. I was like, that's smart. That's what I would have fucking done. But then it turns out it just falls off anyway, you know. But it was very good. It's very good. You know, the only problem with that is that, you know, I'm gonna I saw this movie with another person besides Bacon. I'm not gonna name who they are, but this person next to me kept laughing and went over to me and said, "It's tampons." I'm like, "What?" "Maxipad. Blood." And then it was such a stupid comment that I went, And then I was kept whispered to that. And then the movie became tampon movie. And then I was sucking in my lips because I didn't want to like laugh in the movie theater. So, you know, Obama said that to you. Stop it. Stop it. Okay? Okay. Let's see here. Joel, you need to make friends with a guy named Eggs so you can hang out with bacon and eggs. Do you understand the lore of Iron Lung? No, Simple 8. I have no fucking idea what I was watching. The person I was watching, I'm gonna not name who they are, but it's Minimali. You know, it's so if you want her opinion of the movie, please go ask her. But she remains anonymous for now. Ask her about her fucking like maxi pad jokes in the movie. I wasn't making them. I wasn't fucking making them. Okay? So you know. Lady jokes. Lady. But I'm not gonna make you wait or make you delay for too long here, but I will say this. At this end of this movie, I was waiting for post-credit scene because every movie nowadays has post-credits. And I was pleasantly surprised. You know, I was pleasantly surprised because I was watching for 2 hours and at the end I'm like, I was like nodding my head like, that's pretty good. And then, you know, the credits come on and there's a little post-credits tease. And I can't believe they put it into the movie. Because the studio that developed this movie, they are known to have worked with YouTubers before, you know, and now would be a good time as ever to talk about this, because some people, I mean, I didn't know they were actually going to do this, but they have a trailer out that's exclusive in this movie. And you can see this trailer yourself if you watch the movie in the theaters. But I've been in talks with Markiplier in the development of this movie. I knew this was happening for a while. And I contacted him and I asked him, is there any way for me to take one of my movies that I was thinking about? And Markiplier told me that it is possible. It's a costly thing, and you're gonna have to take, you know, you're gonna have to be physically fit for this. You're gonna have to constrict yourself to a diet, take acting classes, and really be in part of a movie. And I said to Markiplier, I'm ready. And I met up with the CEO. I'm not going to name who they are, but they did direct Star Wars. And I approached them and I asked them, is this a possibility? So I wasn't aware that we're going to put this in the movie. And I was watching the post-credits for like, you know, an Avengers little thing at the end or whatever. And they show it. I look to my left to Minimali and Bacon, and their jaw fucking drops. The rest of the movie theater is kind of empty because most people have left by now because it's very, very end. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a world exclusive. And I am a little emotional. You know, I have put my heart and soul into this. And I want to say thank you, everybody, that has made this dream possible. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my life's work.
Station 5.
Is my voice even vaguely familiar to you, Zane? I really don't want a repeat of last week.
Look, if I say I'm gonna be there, I will be there. End of story. There is nothing more important to me right now than that.
Zane!
Searching for ETs in this political environment is a tough sell.
I come to you with the possibility of extrasolar life. I can't for it.
They're acting like it never happened. It's like we never gave him any tape.
The first signal is definitely sky-based, but this one is Earth-based. Something's going on here, Shar. What is it that they're trying to hide?
It's a troubled young man.
Why are you telling them lies about me? I want my tape back. I want it back.
They've branded his theory paranoid.
There are some DOT guys here going through our stuff.
I don't know who these guys are, but I do know that they're lying to you.
And the only ones who believe what's coming
If they're not here now, they will be soon.
Who, Zane?
are the ones who've already arrived.
Right now, as much as you think you don't know the half of it.
Why did they leave?
They didn't,
How do you know?
because we aren't dead yet.
Stop watching the skies.
I know why they're here.
Start watching your back.
Vargskelethor Joel, Voices of the Void.
Like I said, Z,
You didn't know the half of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming 2062. Unfortunately, all the budget went into the movie, but we can only render the movie on an Amiga, and it's gonna take a while. And it's only going to be in MOV format, and it might not look good, but I think for what it was worth, I think we will get, Nickelodeon Kids Award. So, okay. Well, anyway, that was my review of the Iron Lung movie. Again, I highly recommend it. I think that if you're gonna see something, and you're thinking, I haven't went to the movie theater in a while, and I'm in the sort of YouTuber sphere of people, I think you're gonna be pleasantly surprised with how good this is. Be prepared for a slow burn of a movie, and I think that if you are into movies like the original Alien, I think you're gonna get a lot of enjoyment out of this for sure. Now for the people that are here in the screening, that have gone to the screening, TM, what did you think? What did you think? What did you think? I loved it. It was great. I really liked it. Me? I haven't seen it. I don't watch movies. Oh, you got like religious reasons? I didn't see it yet. Very good. I haven't seen the movie. It was awesome. Your camera's very nice. Thank you. I was shoveling snow. Jehovah's critics. Haven't seen it yet. I'm really sorry that a lot of people that probably want to see this right now have to channel like sucking milk out of like a blanket, like a what's her name, Hannah Montana boot, to get some nutrition. You have to do this through me to be like, I want information on this movie, please. And I think I've explained a little bit about this, and I enjoyed it. But if you really want to see this, it's really hard to find any sort of screenshots or anything from this movie, because it's a little movie that could in the movie theaters right now. So if I've given you a frustrating overview of this movie, and you're thinking, my goodness, I feel more confused now. I want to see it even more. I think that's Markiplier calling me right now. Oh, sorry. That was Jorge Lucas, which is an unnamed director that directed my porno movie. Anyway, no, as I was saying, but a lot of people are enjoying this. I usually go, after I really enjoy a movie, I want to be a contrarian and see IMDb's low-rated scores for this movie crap. And that's what we're going to do. We're gonna laugh at people's opinions because you are laughing at mine. So we're gonna go on Iron Lung on IMDb, and I want to see 0 out of 10 saying movie bad because boring. So here we go. We're gonna find this out. Here we go. It's a 6 out of 8 on IMDb actually, which is very close to my review. Okay, here we go. Here is the people's comments. This guy is saying, Austin is saying, it's not a horror movie, it's a sci-fi movie with a little to no plot, completely unbelievable and completely pointless. Please do not waste 2 hours watching this movie. You will leave the theater extremely upset, especially if you came for a horror movie. I've never played a video game, and after watching a movie, I don't plan on it. This was terrible. I don't know where these good reviews came from. What? Okay. Okay, and this guy says, my son, who had been looking forward to this show for over a year, dragged me into this. Had to follow, very difficult to decipher much of the dialogue, with terrible timeline and flow, zero character building, and a complete failure in plot building. Don't waste the 2 hours, you'll never get back. Honestly, the best part of the movie was the child that ran out of the theater screaming. Shame on the mother who brought him. Okay. Bad. I almost cheered when it ended for the wrong reasons. Alright. Let's see here. I have a rule when it comes to computer game movie adaptations that they be accessible to non-gamers. They must make a sense without the need for an in-depth research before or after the film. Iron Lung doesn't. It's a hot mess. The film marks the directorial debut of YouTuber Markiplier Mark Fishbash. I didn't... Wait a minute. That's his real name? Fishbash. Well, that's appropriate because he gets chased by a big fish. You know, that's... I see why Hollywood said maybe, you know. Well, I've never heard of before, and then I'm completely sincere, I haven't never hear of again. He not only directed this incomprehensible garbage, but he also stars in it as well, making him twice as guilty to the gallows with you. Now, the problem is with BA_Harrison's, which is, I think, Harrison Ford, secret sock puppet. He says computer game. Now, B.A. Harrison, I usually don't let old people not watch all the movies, but when your last computer game was Missile Command, maybe not for you. Maybe you need a nap and a blanket. I think this might be too upsetting for you, okay? So, no. Let's see. One of the worst movies ever. Okay, I want to see what this guy says. From Dumbass 96. This movie is truly terrible in every single aspect imagined, but apparently a YouTuber thought he could make a movie, and he must have seen a movie in his life because the pace was agonizing. The writing was so bad it was likely AI. The acting was so over top forced, and the plot goes absolutely nowhere. The entire movie just repeats the same thing over and over again without leading anywhere. It's all in one location with nothing ever being accomplished. This was pure torture. There was not one single thing I like about the movie. Not one. I can't imagine someone in this movie think it's 100% ready to submit without trimming anything at all. You could literally walk out of the theater for an hour and miss nothing at all, since all these repeat the same exact thing constantly. Just really terrible. Okay. Now, I think Dumbass here has a point. However, the point of the movie and the game is that it's a death sentence. It's an empty promise that he will be saved. It's basically he will be killed, and he finds out more and more throughout the movie before his inevitable demise. So it is an apocalyptic cloud on the horizon, and that I think is scary. But hey, I respect Dumbass's opinion here. People are so pissed on these reviews. Well, the good news is that there's not too many of them. These are the only really negative ones. And I would say this, even though I have problems with the pacing, it is not detracting from my enjoyment of the movie. On the opposite, we can have the hyperbolic inverse of this and have the 10 stars. Intense, best debut film. Iron Lung, the best movie 2026 so far. Could not give this a higher rating. Could be more proud of Mark. Truly, you did it, man. You did it. Biggest concern with the movie initially. Hardcore metal. Iron Lung is one bloody good time. This is not me. I am not Production Roy. Made for the big screen experience. Airs on the classy side of horror, raw yet polished. Mark has strong acting chops, and it's undeniable now. Hello, director too. The pacing is excellent. Lots of tension in the unknown, yet still room for chuckles. Yes, go see it. Chuckles? Chuckles? Now, I wouldn't really call this a comedy. Yeah. Hey, Iron Lung, hee. You chuckle about the tampons the whole time. The whole time, it was an incidental comment made to the left of my ear. Okay? Most impressive film in recent times. Absolutely incredible. I'm going to die down here. Exactly what it should have been. I did not expect to like this movie, but I was pleasantly surprised. Everyone clapped at the end! Here in New Zealand. Ooh. At the end of the film, almost everyone got up and started clapping. Nobody left during the credits, all full of chatter. Everyone had been silent throughout it all up until then. First time writing a review, just had to because how much I enjoyed it. Personally, one of my favorite movies of all time, perfectly plays on the original idea of the game. This almost cosmic horror was excellent. Had some fun scares in it, but personally found it much more interesting trying to figure out what in the world was going on. I love the fact that the story is slow-fed at the start, and at the end there are still questions to be asked, but still some to be found. Can't wait till the theorists make a video. Okay. It made me cry. It's a movie that reminds me of my childhood growing up. Okay. I love sci-fi movie, The Mystery Like Cube. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Event Horizons are the best, and the feeling you're left with in the movie is like the same I got from Good Will Hunting and other movies I mentioned. Love this movie, and we'll be seeing it again. Okay. It's not the fact that you were welded into a submarine, into hell. That's okay, but I definitely see the Event Horizon comparison, yeah. It's a fantastic and unique new form of fear. It is definitely one to see. It's a unique film that slowly builds tension and suspense as it goes on. I don't want to be one of those people that says it's a slow, but get halfway through and gets better. But in the case, it works perfectly for the story. It builds so much tension, it doesn't rely on jump scares, but genuine fear of the unknown and doubt about what your own eyes are seeing. You do get a bit thrown off, being dropped right into a universe that's unknown to us viewers, but as the Iron Lung dives deeper, so do we. It's honestly more unique than anything I've seen large companies put out recently. If you have any issues with making out words and intense scares, I would say to wait and watch it when captions are available. Well, okay. Well, that's where I got a bonus. That's pretty good. Amazing. Love the movie and game. Letter to Old Horror. Okay, worth the wait. One of the better made movies. Please go and see support Markiplier. Amazing slow burn. So you could definitely make the argument that both of these are very hyperbolic. I still say this, like a 7 out of 10 is kind of my jam. I think again, really, really cool movie. I think that if I were to do any sort of editing on this, I would maybe, again, it might not work for everybody, but I think some of the other human characters in this was a little bit of a detriment, and I wanted, kind of like the game, no dialogue from anyone whatsoever. Well, maybe Markiplier's going like shit, but again, that doesn't really build story, and it's a cinematic movie, and it needs to convey other supporting characters. It can't just be 2 hours of nothing, even though that's the kind of movie I would have liked. But overall, very good adaptation and very, very, very entertaining. I thoroughly enjoyed it. How can you say the movie is a 7 out of 10 if it doesn't have feature sex in Iron Lung like sex in Minecraft? So I think the dialogue would have made it too unapproachable. Well, you know why I say that too? You know what I say why that could have worked? Because this is not a mainstream distributed movie, and there's no like movie boardroom meetings demanding things be cut or whatever. This is Markiplier's passion project, and this might sound weird because now I'm like saying what he should have done. This was his vision. He could have done whatever the fuck he wanted. But if it was my thing and I had the $20 to make a movie, then I would make something that the movie studio directors could not fuck with. Basically what I'm saying, I'm Orson Welles, and when Orson Welles made his 1938 masterpiece Transformers the movie, when they played Unicron, no one could fuck with him. That was his vision, and it stands the test of time, friends. Som said, I think you would enjoy Mad God, which is an awesome, decent into stop motion hell escape, no dialogue. Unironically, you and Dr. No should scam $100,000 of someone and go make a Voice of the Void movie. Now, the thing with Voice of the Void, the movie, if truly was a thing, kayfabe off, first of all, it would not work because the scare of the movie would not be the aliens, it would be seeing my face. And, you know, people would be throwing up in the movie theater, and at some point, you know, they have to pause the thing on their laptop and be like, stop throwing out and watch the movie, you know. So, you know, but it's good. You know, the smell would get through the screen. Joel is important. Was Carl Benson's wife into cuckolding? Or was she like, fuck you, I'm going to drive this thing 65 miles, 105k miles? No, she was just pissed off. Let's see here. But you didn't get informed about anything, and you would shit your ass off thinking it was real. The audience would start simultaneously gooning and causing a goon explosion. Okay. Well, overall, as I said, guys, it's been almost an hour review, and I actually wanted to kind of cut this down even more. But I hope you enjoyed my review of this. And again, if you're just tuning in and you're like, you know, I missed all of this, and I just tuned in, I don't know what his thoughts were. I say this. Very good movie. Didn't rely on jump scares. Practical effects. Markiplier's acting was very good. I thought it was very nice, and it did not feel like a quote-unquote YouTube movie whatsoever. It felt better than some movies I have seen lately, and if you are a fan of the first Alien movie, just this dreadful, isolating, claustrophobic metal pipe horror, you know, in the middle of nowhere, you're gonna enjoy this a lot. I thought the score was pretty good. I didn't actually talk about that, but I really enjoyed that. And overall, I'd say the only flaw that I'd say is I wish the movie had a little less dialogue. But middle part of the movie, you don't get that anyway, because now Markiplier, Simon, the protagonist, is now isolated in the depths of the blood ocean. So, yeah, everybody, hope you all enjoyed my review of this. Go see this movie yourself and go support Markiplier. I'm sure he would appreciate you seeing his movie that he made. And I would say final note about
clothes aren't killing.
The final note about this, yeah, a good movie.
In a world with no laws, the planets are being pillaged by space Vikings. There lies the secret to a sword's father's maker who knows the identity of a serial killer.
I know who you are!
And the oil rig where the haunted crypt of Mamingdala Falafel lies. And the love where it happened at
Space.
Blood Ocean. Coming soon. Blood Ocean.
I know who you are!
Blood Ocean.
Check it out.